Sanmona. Happy Monday, guys. Happy freaking Monday. It's NK1 Show. We're back, guys. We're back. Ngiyathemba bafethu ukuthi wonke umuntu right. Ngiyathemba ukuthi you guys are warm kula makhaza. Guys, let me just invite invite guest here too, and then yeah, let's go. Hello, Londi. I'm playing a track like guys, YG, all the way from Elovu. It says woman abuse. All right, let's see if we can get to Mirabel, guys. Yo, Gabanda Lemyango, guys. Gabanda Lemyango. I hope everyone. Hello, Londi. Get some boost in the warm level, guys. Today's topic, guys, says gender-based violence. Okay. Mirabel. Hi, no. Oh, Londi Bobo too. Both Londis are here. It's a very nice track by YG. It's Musuk Shogomezo Kokobe to MG. Musuk Shogomezo Mama way to MG. Nango Mirabel. Gafa isingisi namhlanje, guys. Gafa isingisi namhlanje. I don't know whether ngiyabonakala kahle, guys. Mirabel. Hello, Mira.
Sawubona.
Unjani?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Oh, I'm good. Asikuboni ke kodwa.
Awungiboni.
Lutho. Ngikubona nje. Sikubona isifuba. Nice one. Sesiyakubona ke manje. So, siswami, all right?
Ngiyaphila. There's an echo.
There's an echo. Okay, let me try fix this. Okay, let me try fix this. No, manje mfethu siyathuthuka istudio siyathuthuka yabo. So sekhona ama wireless manje. So ingakho kuba khona ama echoes go join, and then now right. How are we now?
Okay, I think we're good. Yeah.
Number one. So are you good?
Oh, there's still some feedback.
Okay. Angazi ngabe kwenzakalani yazi. Now?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. So
Okay.
before we start, can you please introduce yourself? Ubatshela abantu ukuthi wena ubani uqhamukaphi, and then we can start our session.
Okay. There's still some feedback.
I didn't know.
Headphones, maybe it's gonna help.
Sorry?
Can I try using headphones and maybe it might help?
Okay, please try. And now?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. When you
Okay. I just want to check what's your other feedback. I can hear you. Okay, we're fine now. Sorry, there was a lot of feedback, so yeah. I think we're good now.
Oh, number one, wonderful, wonderful. So, Mirabel, can you please introduce yourself, Siswam? Introduce yourself, and then so we can get started.
Okay, so igama lami Nqoba Dlamini. I'm also known as Mirabel, and I am from Durban. Ngumntwana kaNkulunkulu ngisindisiwe, and yeah, that's just me.
Nqoba, thanda leli lithi Nqoba, mina ngithanda lithi Mirabel. I call her Mira. So, by the way, Mira, happy Women's Day. Usuku lembokotho namhlanje. So we are confused, guys, whether ukuthi sinibize ngembokotho noma sinibize ngamaqanda. We really don't know what to to call you guys because 1 minute nimbogoto and the other minute you'll want to be treated like amaqanda. So asas. So anyways, happy Women's Day.
Angiyona imbokodo mina.
Wiqanda.
What is that mean? What you strike this rock, I cry, I bleed. Ngiqanda angiyona imbokodo.
Another type of imbogoto. Well, okay. So let us get to our topic, gender-based violence. Before maybe I start talking about our points or our like questions today, can you please explain to us when you talk about gender-based violence?
So again, firstly, thank you for the opportunity to be on Eli Viako. I watch it all the time, and it's an honor to be here. So gender-based violence is basically violence that sort of comes from inequality between genders, that comes from this issue that we have in society where abantu hold power. And sometimes they can abuse this power and inflict, abuse towards women and children as well. So it's not just for abantu besifazane per se. So this could happen to children where they are also abused. And now we're talking about the LGBTQ community. So your gay lesbians who are also affected by this. So that's basically, like, in simple terms, what gender-based violence is.
Oh, okay, wonderful. So let's I guess khulume gender-based in our community as like Black people ukuthi yiziphi izinto esibhekana nazo emphakathini, especially emphakathini wabantu abamnyama. Like mhlawumbe iziphi izinto esibhekana nazo like esizwayo mihla namalanga.
I think especially with us abantu abamnyama, like growing up, ziningi imfundiso that we've heard and that the things that we've seen in our communities that create environment where this is like okay and it's normal. So for example, school kwakushiwo ukuthi nje umuntu wesifazane nje uyamshaya kancane mayebheda nje ufaka ibamba, or I remember this recently. Yeah, recently, I was watching any video of this traditional Zulu man ekhuluma ngokuthi umuntu wesifazane ingane, mayesebenzi imali ayiholayo yendoda akuyona yakhe, umuntu wesifazane akwazi ukucabanga, uyacatshangelwa. So I think a lot of this patriarchal system, all of these sort of thoughts and thinking and culture has been breathing gender-based violence in our community. And a lot of the time, I think we've been quiet about it because it's like we don't want to get involved. We just want to mind our own business or whatever the case is. In the Black community, if let's say there's abuse in the family, sexual abuse in the family, we want to hide it instead of exposing it. and holding people accountable. So khona umalume ohluphayo siyamazi, but instead of actually calling the behavior out and holding this person accountable, knowing very well who's abusing iy'ngane zasekhaya, we will hide that, you know. So I think in our community, we haven't really stood up for victims. We haven't really fought this very well. We've tried to hide it and really protect men who are abusing women. And so I think, and not just abantu abamnyama, I think obviously with gender-based violence, it affects all races. It's everywhere. I think in South Africa, it's one of the highest countries with, you know, this sort of violence. But I think for us specifically as abantu abamnyama, we've protected people who have been abusive for such a long time, and we've held on to these practices that are hurting and harming people for such a long time. And I think we need to start changing how we think, how we do things, and really start protecting, you know, victims of gender-based violence.
Wow, awesome. So like the reason why ngithi abantu abamnyama is because it's ngathini, it's what I'm exposed to. Iyona ndlela elula ukuthi mhlawumbe sikhulume ngayo, because thina abantu abamnyama sikhuliswe ngendlela ehlukile, yabo. Like for mina nje ngisakhula, I used to hear umama bami bexoxa, because umama wangala kaZulu. So I used to hear them bexoxa ngomkhulu ubaba wabo ukuthi bona umuntu wesifazane mebheda weshawa. Angikhulumi ngempama, angikhulumi ngequpha, ngikhuluma nje ukuthi ngombazo. There is this stick ekuthiwa umbazo, the strong stick nje lekuthiwa umbazo. Umuntu wesifazane emgcema nje ekhanda, yabo, ophe ekhanda, yabo, ngenxa ukuthi indoda iyona inhloko. So indoda mawukuthi mhlawumbe umuntu wesifazane khona into ayenzayo wrong ebhedayo, indoda nje ikhweza induku ekhanda, umuntu wesifazane aqonde athi, yabo. And those times or those days, kubona they never see it as ukuthi mhlawumbe bayahlukunyezwa, yabo. They used to say, okay, ubaba ekhaya lo uyangiqondisa. And now ngenxa ukuthi ayifani-ke manje. And then when men carry on doing these things, and then umthetho-ke la usuqala khona ukulula isandla-ke manje, and then siqhamuka as i-abuse. Abantu besifazane ila sebekwazi ukuyimela khona ukuthi okay, you know what, siya-abuse phela njengamanje masengenziwa nje, ngoba even ney'ngane ey'ncane, ingane encane sikhule sishawa thina, but manje asisashawa manje, ngoba mesashawa siyahamba siyobopha, yabo. So do you think ukuthi mhlawumbe lento ngathini, noma isikhathi esiphila kusona la khona umthetho usunesandla ekutheni ukuthi umuntu wesifazane akashawa, ingane encane ayishawa? Do you think ukuthi mhlawumbe abantu besilisa babe ne-enga yokuthi umthetho usukwaze manje ukuthi ufake isandla, like thina as men singabisakwazi ukuthi sibeke izandla abantu besifazane ney'ngane, because qala umuntu wesifazane weshawa mebhedile, kwangahlukana, engekho indaba ye-divorce, indoda nje ikhweza induku ekhanda, lophe ikhanda lamfazi, yabo, lophe ikhanda lengane, kodwa yazi ukuthi okay, mina bengiqondisa. But now mangasewenze njalo manje ungaboshwa nje 15 years ejele ukuthi nje wena ushaya umuntu wesifazane, yabo, especially makuthiwa umshaya ngo-August nje, yabo. So do you think ukuthi mhlawumbe it's an anger, noma abantu besilisa it's because they believe ukuthi banamandla, yini edala ukuthi kwenzeke yonke lento, because qala yenzeka ngabe indaba zalutho?
I think qala yayenzeka, and because women literally had no voice back then, they couldn't say anything, they couldn't do anything. Obviously now in the society that we are in, yes, there's still inequality, kodwa sekwaba ngconywana. You know, women do have some rights now. Before it was worse, you know. So I don't think there was ever a time where, or there is ever a time where violence is okay. Like, violence is wrong. You know, inflicting violence towards someone else is wrong. You know, whether this happened by Mkhulu bethu and Ogogo bethu didn't say anything, or what's happening now, whatever, like inflicting violence on someone is wrong, period. And I think that back in ngaleso sikhathi, women, again, they literally did not have a voice. Ushadile lana, and from your father's home, usufakwe lana, ulotsholiwe, and you know, you say property are like kaya, and we're gonna treat you anyhow. If we want to hit you, we're gonna hit you, and you have no voice. So I think there are different reasons as to why we have gender-based violence. Like, there's different reasons as to why men abuse women, but violence is violence and it's wrong. Whether he's angry, he's drunk, or it's a power struggle or whatever, I don't care what reason, you know, a man can bring to the table. Violence is wrong, and it needs to end, and it needs to stop.
Wow, wonderful. So do you think alcohol and drugs, they contribute to gender-based violence?
I mean, absolutely, yes. I think that when a mundo ephuza, and you know, they're intoxicated, obviously they're not in the right state of mind, and they can act out in an abusive way. So I think that, again, also in our Black communities, like, it's a big thing at the moment, where there's a big alcohol addiction. I mean, every weekend, every day, sometimes we have work, say the people are just, they're drinking, they're having a party, you know. So we have an issue with alcohol in our communities daily. So yes, I think it does. It's part of the problem. But I think, you know, just in inequality, indodila, umfazula, inganila, and the male has been dominating and abusing his power. I think that for me is one of the biggest main reasons for gender-based violence.
So, on your own opinion, can I ask you, do you believe ukuthi indoda nomuntu wesifazane kumele balingane njengoba umthetho usho?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Can I respond, because when I'm ngumzalwane, right? I always go back to the
I was about to tell you ukuthi
yes. So I am a feminist and I believe in the equality of genders. But if you look in the Bible, if you look in Genesis, when God created male and female, it's clear. It says that God made male and female in his own image, right? So both of them were made in the same image of God. And he gave them dominion over all things, authority over all things. And at that moment when he designed them, he didn't say, Adam, you have authority over the woman, or the woman, you have authority over the man. Ikinga came in Genesis 3 verse 16, where there was the curse. And if you remember, because it was said that the woman is going to have issues with childbirth or experience pain, and she's going to want to control her husband, and that, you know, he will then exercise dominion or authority over her. At that point of the curse, we then see, Guti, there's an issue in terms of the relationship between male and female. And there's going to be this fight for power. There's going to be this contention basically between male and female because of the curse. But I mean, I believe that when you look at God's design, when he made male and female, he made them equally. He didn't make Adam different from Eve. When he formed Eve, read your Bible. When he formed Eve, he formed Eve from... Wait, I'm not done. When he formed Eve, he formed Eve from Adam. And Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, because they were the same substance, made of the same thing, right? And I think that that's also one of the reasons. If you can read it now, I know my words.
Before I even open it, I want to ask you something. What is greater? what is greater between something that is created and then with something that is made? Which one is greater, created or made?
I think it's almost the same thing. Like,
Can't be the
when
same.
you create something, you
When you
make
create
it, right?
something, it's when you make something out of nothing, out of nothing, and then you just boom. And when you make something out of something that already exists. But when you create, you make something out of nowhere, something that never existed. So I believe ngicela ukuthi ungivumele ukuthi the one that is greater is the one that is created. Siyavumelana? Maha, you are here, please. Ngicela ungivumele. What is greater is what is created. Because
So
what is made.
Are you saying that Adam was greater because he was created?
Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. The Bible says, let us make a man. Let us make a man. Not let us make men and a female. Let us make a man.
No, I disagree. In this case, when we're looking at Adam and Eve, I think it's completely different.
Wait, no, it's not. I'm not saying ngisupporta amadoda ukuthi ahlukumeze abantu besifazane, but there is a point ekumele siyicacise kwabantu besifazane ukuze bazokwazi indawo yabo emadodeni. God made man, God created man, and then God made a woman out of a man. Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. God says, akukuhle ukuthi abedwa lo. Yabo? Akukuhle ukuthi abedwa. So asimenzele umsizi. Awuthi yazi ukuthi akadali uyenza, sesimenzele umsizi. Kwayena lo msizi wenziwa out of a man. Yabo? So a man has an authority. The only thing we cannot do as people, we can't we can't dominate over men, but we can dominate earth, we can dominate everything, but we cannot dominate men. But man is greater. A man is greater than a woman. But I'm not saying men, I'm not saying men shall abuse abantu besifazane. But abantu besifazane, they must know bafethu ukuthi indoda inhloko. But now umthetho it's coming with different stories saying 50-50. Let's us wait for Mirabel to come back. I don't know what's happened to her. I think it's network. Hello Maha, I see you Maha. Sicelo umkhashi khuzwayo. Guys, we're just gonna wait for Mirabel. We're just gonna wait for Mirabel to come back, and then so that we're gonna carry on with our topic, guys. Mirabel, come back. Okay, now Mirabel is back. Let me add her. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm back.
Yes, I know. We're still waiting for you.
Do you have your Bible open, man of God?
Yeah, let me open it. It's open. Iliphi verse ufuna ukufundela lona? It's open. Which verse ufuna ukulivula?
Let's go right to the beginning. So it's Genesis. Let's see. Hayibo bazalwane, la singalitholi verse.
Iliphi verse ulifunayo?
I want the one that says, God made mankind. The one that you were reading.
That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 26.
Mm-hmm. Okay, read it. Read your version, because
Okay.
yeah.
My version was verse 26. It says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then 37, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go. Yeah, come on, but there
Okay.
you go. God created male and female in his own image, and he gave them authority and dominion over all things.
Yeah.
So he didn't say, Adam, you have dominion over Eve and authority over Eve. He didn't say that. He said, you guys have authority over all things. So you guys are partners in this, and we're here to rule and to take over this earth, And I think that the issue again comes to Genesis 3:16, where the curse happens, and then there's this fight, between male and female. And I think that we are seeing this fight continue, because if you even look at it, the system of patriarchy, of men being cast, it creates an issue for men themselves. I remember last week, and this is off topic, but we were talking about ilobola, and ilobola is sort of part of the system. And a lot of men now actually don't like ilobola because it is sort of oppressive towards men, because men have to pay this part. Men have to be the providers, because patriarchy says men are the providers. They have to be the breadwinners. They need to do this, do that. That is the system. And we need to start changing how we think, how we do things. Because this way of thinking and doing things is the reason why, one of the reasons why we in the problem that we're in now. So, yeah.
Awesome. So why are you still talking about that? While we're still arguing about this one?
We're not arguing. If I'm clear, we're not an argument.
You know why it's because I can see we can take an hour singaqedile my questions is. That's why it's okay. Angikuyekelele for another day. Sizolichaza kahle leli verse 27. So let me ask this. Kuyenzeka ukuthi mhlawumbe ngimhlukumeze umuntu esifazane, but unknowingly, but yena ehlukumezeka. Because I believe ukuthi it can never be only physical abuse la khona ngizomshaya yabo ngimlimaza zonke lezi zinto mhlawumbe ngimrape, but mhlawumbe kuyenzeka umuntu wesifazane umhlukumeza, but ungabothi uyamhlukumeza but yena ehlukumezeka. And makuthi kuyenzeka, how sekwenzakalani?
Yeah, I think for the most part of the abuse, I can say that men know what they're doing, but I think at the same time, and I'm not trying to protect about this, Lisa, there are certain things and teachings that are lacking in our society, that, because they're not there, men don't really know sometimes what to do. If what they are doing is wrong, they don't know because they haven't been taught. And so I think maybe, yes, that is possible, that as a man, you don't know that what you are doing is actually wrong. But I think for the most part, like hitting or beating up a woman, like, that's wrong. But I think that there's definitely a gap there. If you look at most of our homes, they're fatherless homes. So a lot of people are growing up, in with single parents. It's just there's no, male, strong male in the home to teach a young man, to guide a young man. So I think obviously and I think that maybe that's why it's so important for us to sort of teach each other and learn, from one another. And so yeah, I think it's not, I don't, as much as men are the problem, and most of the time they are the perpetrators, to be fair, when it comes to gender-based violence. I think there are a lot of, things that we need to also talk about in terms of, men and how they, don't have the right teaching at times. Sometimes they are also abused. And so there are different factors as well, absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah. So, because the gender-based violence, does it take place in the workplace or maybe in the second?
I think yes and no. I mean, mostly gender-based violence, so there's different forms, right? So there's your domestic violence, your intimate partner violence. So I could say yes, it does, and a lot of women. I don't know if you've heard of like a few years back, according to the Me Too movement. So yeah, it's a where women were talking about like abuse that they've experienced in the workplace. So just being like sexually assaulted incidentally by men, by their bosses. And so I think absolutely men in power can take advantage of women in the work environment. So yes.
So do you think what government is trying to do? I know it may fall under feminism. But do you think if government is doing this, trying to raise umuntu wesifazane or trying to uplift umuntu wesifazane ukuthi alingane nomuntu wesilisa, because in the workplace what's happening now, whenever there's a job opportunities, government uzothi 50% makuba abantu besifazane and then 50% makuba amadoda. So do you think ukuthi lento enza uhulumeni ingayiqeda le gender based violence noma izoyenza ibe worse?
I don't think it would make it worse. I think that the reason why kubalulekile for women to start working is because they need economic freedom. Remember, living with your abuser, and the abuser yakho is the one that is your source of income, doesn't help the woman, But when you empower women and she's able to work and earn a living, then she can leave her abuser and be able to take care of herself. So it's necessary for women to have these opportunities so that they can empower themselves, so that if they have to leave an abusive household because they're being beaten every single day or abused sexually or whatever the case is, they can, and they'll be able to take care of themselves. So I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't see it as making the situation worse, because again, like, but understanding with umnotho and money, it's been for centuries controlled by men. And so that's one of the ways that because I am taking care of you financially, so you're not going to leave me. But now when you're giving women opportunities to actually work and earn an income, we're giving her financial freedom, which is very important in fighting gender-based violence.
Wonderful. So how can we help and support abantu abused? Like, which is the right way to help them or support them?
I think I'm obviously not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but for me, so I've myself been I wouldn't be a victim of gender-based violence per se, but I've been a victim of assault. And when a person is assaulted, well, from in my case, um, a lot of the time as a victim, you go through a lot of trauma. And one of the ways that we can just firstly start helping women is just listening to what they have to say. It's for us to start believing victims instead of having all these questions that you want to ask them for them to try and prove that they really have been abused in some way. And I'll give an example. If let's say, for example, let's say okay, let's say back on the phone or whatever, you come up to me, you tell me that, I believe you, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry this happened to you, right? Flip that, let's say a woman who's been raped by her partner or her pastor, if she comes forward and she says, I've been raped, the first thing is, did he really do that? Did he scream? Are you sure this really happened to you? And we don't have a culture that says, I believe what you're saying. We need to start believing abantu when they come to us. I remember this one time I was watching an interview on this other show, like on Facebook, and these young girls came to her and they said that this other pastor, raped them. And she was like, wow, what, in the police station, because obviously if you've been raped, you're going to go to the police station. And then they were reluctant to go. And that's the thing, when a rape victim comes forward, Wonkomuji is like, why don't you go and open up a case? Why don't you go to the police station? And I get it, I mean, yeah, you should go to the police station if you want to, but not every victim wants to go to the police station. And by me not going to the police station, it doesn't mean that I haven't been assaulted. It doesn't mean this did not happen. I'm deciding not to go to the police station could be a number of reasons. Now, when I was assaulted, I didn't go to the police station. Does it mean I was never assaulted? No, it just means that I decided not to go. And there could be a number of reasons. Could be because I don't trust the police. Let's be honest, how many of us actually, how many of us actually go to the police? Like we hardly go in a police station anymore because we don't trust, that anything is going to be done. Now imagine a woman who's been raped. They might not have faith in the police. They might not want to go and explain. So I think the first step is for us to believe what they have to say, to be compassionate, to say, I'm so sorry this happened to you. For us to listen, to ask questions like, how can I help you? What can we do? Instead of just saying to someone to go to the police, or did that really happen? Or when the boys are let's stop interrogating people and asking them all of these questions, but let's just support them and let's allow them to tell us about that particular situation and then support them with that. But that's a big issue that we have in our society, where we just don't want to believe victims when they come forward. That we need to start working better at. Yeah.
Wow. So yes, this thing there and feel like sikhulume futhi. There are a lot of women and there are a lot of kids out there who are being abused. As basaba ukukhuluma bakhulumi. But they are abused on a daily basis, but abakhulumi. Mhlawumbe mawucabanga yini edala ukuthi mhlawumbe bengakhulumi noma besaba ukusho ukuthi, or even to tell a friend or to tell anyone who is close to them ukuthi I'm being abused. What maybe do you think ukuthi could be the problem?
I think there could be a number of reasons, but it's trauma. We all deal with trauma in different ways. So khona abantu who close up, you know, when they've experienced a traumatic experience, they don't open up. And there are some people who are able to talk. Abantu abafani. And so we react to trauma in different ways. Hence why it's so important for us to have different channels and to have resources and places where people can go to for help, for professional help. Because sometimes our conversations with victims, we cannot handle them, you know, and they need someone a professional who will be able to get this person to open up to explain what happened. I think like it's hard for us also for some people to open up, and this is not just for children, but for just advantages, for victims to open up, because let's be honest, sometimes, okay, one, we don't believe them, but two, we tend to sometimes make fun of the abuse. And I'll give an example about one of the trending topics right now, for me, right?
Yeah.
Like the last week, we've been seeing memes and jokes about the Somis and the Muhale after Muhale allegedly has said that he's been abused, sexually abused by the Somis.
Yeah.
And I found myself, you know, giggling at some and thinking, oh my goodness, like it's wrong for women to be abused, but it's okay for a homosexual man to be abused, because we've been joking about it, you know, as a society. So I think also for some people it's hard for them to come out because we find abuse funny. You know, we joke around about abuse. So why should I even come up and speak to someone? Because if they find a we joke, you know. So I think it's that could be another reason why people find it difficult to actually come up and to talk about their abuse.
But now, when this thing comes to men, the other way around, when a woman is abusing men, it's always difficult for men to avenge, because number one, mezotshela abangani noma ezotshela abafowabo noma ezotshela relatives, or maybe azotshela church members ukuthi hayibo I'm being abused, it's like kube a joke. And then same thing when you go and report in my police station, they make it a joke ukuthi hawu ndoda ushaya umuntu wesifazane. But uma ukuthi indoda ishaya umuntu wesifazane bayagxuma. Kuphuma mhlawumbe amaveni awu5, kuphuma amaveni awu5 ayolanda umuntu oshaya umuntu wesifazane. But mase kuthiwa khona umuntu odutshuliwe la, phuma iveni eyodwa nakhona after 5 hours. Yabo. So do you see ukuthi even us that's supposed to prevent or stop this, ithina esivuthela umlilo ukuthi emlilweni vele sifaka uparaffin. Because if man is being abused and then we're making fun of it, that means we are making men more angry. Because if me now I'm abusive, or maybe I have anger issues, and then I see men ebika mhlambe udaba lakho ukuthi uya abuse police station, then ahlekwe, and then mina if umuntu wami wesifazane esezwenza something wrong, kuzobuya leya picture yokuthi I've seen men being abused and then baphenduka inhlekisa. So nangu owamuntu wesifazane is she's disrespecting me. So kuzovuka ienga kumina. Yabo? Kuzovuka ienga mase ngifuna ukumshaya lo ngoba nginale enga yokuthi laba nina seninika ama rights. Nina ama rights ama rights eninika yona sengaphezulu kweni. Yabo? That is why noma seniyashaya manje ni Mirabel, niyashaya ngoba niyazi ukuthi ngiyesibiki. Yabo ngesi reports ngoba mase reports siyahlekwa. But masimshaya. Oh, 15 years ejele umuntu ehleki. What can be your take on that one? Because really and truly nathi kumele ngabe siyavulela ethi campaign. I think nathi vele mhlawumbe siyafola under le, because if it says gender based, it doesn't say ukuthi women or nathi we fall under, but this campaign always favors women and children. Men nothing.
Yeah.
But ukuthi enye izinto ezingenza mhlawumbe sinhlukumeze lezo.
No, again, there's no justification for violence. I think that what you're saying, again, I agree that men are abused, but it's not the same. Like in terms of the number of women that are being abused and killed in South Africa, it's way high up there. So let's not compare the two. Ngikhuluma ngama-stats, as indoda wena, you can step outside your house right now and take a walk and you be right. Mina, I could step out and literally end up ehlathini, raped, killed somewhere. So as fun. I think that yes, there's a conversation to be had about abuse against men, and it's not right. I do not condone it. But we can't be comparing the two because the levels of abuse is not the same. The number is just not the same. I think also part of patriarchy, and I keep on going back to this thing, your hierarchy and inequality is that men are not seen as how can I put it? I mean, this has to be the strong, character who doesn't express his feelings and so even when they are abused, it's hard for them to talk about their abuse because again, uyindoda omqine ngewulokhu ukhala ukhalelani, why are you expressing yourself? You can't say you've been raped by a woman. How could you be raped? So it's all of these again, still going back to the same system that hurts men as well. So patriarchy hurts women and it hurts men, and we need to deal with that system because again, it's hurting both parties. But again, as I said, there's no excuse for violence, and the numbers, the statistics don't match. Yes, men are abused, but we are dealing with a pandemic when it comes to the abuse on women. So just this question.
Now, let us go to le eyokudlwengula nokubulala. Do you think men are being given the right charge or punishment? Because we hear okay, kunosisi olahlekile, and then maybe after a week or two, says okay, she was found somewhere dead, raped, and then maybe after another week or two, tholakala it's okay, usetholakele omdlwengula wambulala, and then again after a few months, boom, nangu umuntu is walking freely la emgaqweni. Do you think there's justice?
That's a tough one. I think I'm not a legal expert, but I think that it's not so much about the legal system that's an issue in that, are they serving a long enough time? It's the issue is our homes. That is where the problem is. The problem is the thinking that we have as a society. It's the way that we do things as a society. I think that is the main issue. It's how the police respond. It's how our families respond. It's how we treat each other. So even if you had maximum, 100 years, is it going to change people from abusing women? I don't think so. So I think, we could bring back the death penalty and men wouldn't care. I mean, we have the death penalty that same daily. People still did crimes. People still did evil. So I don't think that's going to change anything. I think it's changing the way that we do things, changing our systems. And that is going to bring change in our society than just saying, hey, let's bring back a big sentence for all races.
Do you really think, because as what you're just saying now, I thought of it weeks back nje ngicabanga nje lento ukuthi mase kuthiwa mina mhlawumbe nginikwa amandla le South Africa, mina as much as I'm a Christian, but lento leyo that penalty I'll bring it back because it's
yeah, I think
it's painful
I think you would need to
see our
support him.
sisters besaba ngisho nokuphuma. You know, I have few friends and sisters abama victim kulezi zinto esikhuluma ngazo. They're even scared to go out. They're even scared to walk at town noma egallery endaweni egcwele abantu cabanga. Yabo. So these people are just walking freely. So I was just thinking, if I were to be given power, I was just gonna do one thing. Icala lomuntu orepile wabulala alithethwa. Lo muntu mekwabanjwa, same time taken straight to entambeni aboshwe alihengwe afe. And then leyo nto ibonwe umhlaba wonke ivele indabeni ibonwe umhlaba wonke ukuthi umuntu odlengula wenziwa nje. Because really and truly this thing here is like it's on a trend, it's like a trend. Each and every day kuzohleze kulahleka abantu besifazane babulewe and kabuhlungu nokuthi ukuthi mhlawumbe uklinyiwe. Abanje a month ago khona usisi la kaMakhutha intombazane encane ina 20, I think 21 or 22 years. She's a lesbian. She was found killed like a goat, and not even like a goat, I don't know, like was eswini ekhatshiwe kukhishwa amathumbu yabo ereshiwe. And then fortunately watholakala kumuntu owenzile leyo. But still kumina 15 years doesn't say nothing to me. Umuntu owenze lento nje kumina akabulawe. I know I'm a Christian, but umuntu nje odlengulile mfethu yabo odlengulile ulimaza abantu. I've been dealing with so many people abadlenguliwe. So many people abadlenguliwe. And then even like yesterday and day before yesterday, I was talking with someone. She told me, there are people who come to her, and then some they refer them to me. They must come to me, and then we find people who are 40 years, while they're 15 years, but still let some affect. Yeah. So I think Minanjelendole, maybe we always march and protest. I think this is what we need to protest for. Even us as Christians, we need to join this protest because the government really needs to up their game on this issue, because I also say they are not safe outside there. It's like men being like animals, you see.
Yeah. No, we're not. Like during usually, if I have to step outside now at school, I don't know if I'll come back home, alive. So we're not safe we're not safe anyway. We're not even safe sometimes in our homes. So I mean, I think if your idea, if you could see if there's death penalty affects crime in some way or decreases crime, guys. For me, I don't think so. I think again we need to change how we do things. Like I remember remember this trend that men are trash, and then they were like, these men who were like, oh, but I'm not trash, not all men are trash. But we want to see the men participating, we want to see the men protecting women, we want to see all these good men that are out there like standing up for women. Like if you see umuntu wesifazane abuser, treatwa kabi, for these good men that we have to stand up and to say something and to do something. So I think definitely we need to, as a people in our homes, in our relationships, we need to start making those changes of how we think, how we do things. And I feel like that's going to make a bigger impact, on gender-based violence.
Mirabel, do you think the absence of our fathers, there are a lot of children, especially boys, who are growing up with no fathers. Some their fathers dies early, and some their fathers are drunkard. They don't have time for them. Like like umuntu wesilisa uyadinga nje ukuthi uhlale netime lakhe likubonise ngempilo. And then also we have fathers who don't support and take care of their children. Do you think ukuthi yonke lento eyenzakalayo manje it's the cause of the absence of our fathers when we grow up?
I don't think everything that is happening is because of that. But I do think some of the issues that we have in our society is due to fatherless homes. And it's not just affecting men, I think women are also affected by this as well. A lot of people have daddy issues. A lot of us are coming up from broken homes. We don't know what the love of the father is like. And so I think, yeah, some of the issues that we have in society definitely come from the fact that we are growing up. And, you know, I always say, all my single mothers who are out there, they are doing an amazing job raising up their kids. Or Kokobetu are doing an amazing job raising up their grandkids. But it was never supposed to be like that. You know, a child needs to have their mother and their father involved in their life. But it's unfortunate that now we are living in a society where the single parent is the norm. You know, we are but again, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's the reality. And I think it does absolutely affect men. I think it also does affect women as well, growing up without having that father, that loving father figure, protect her, you know, in the household.
Wonderful. I think I think most of the thing that's concerning gender-based violence, concerning marriage, concerning relationship, yonke into nje ehlanganisa umuntu wesilisa nomuntu wesifazane. I've been seeing this ukuthi yabo emasontweni women are matured. Women get matured early than men. Women, they are always ready for anything because women are always being prepared. Emasontweni, there are always conference, women's conference, there are ladies what's. Umuntu wesifazane mekhulele kuthiwa yini lento le yini shower yini baby shower, and then single ladies uyabo ne ladies out, zonke lezi zinto lezi they always prepare umuntu wesifazane. As a result umuntu wesifazane mayifika isikhathi sokuthi ashade uya kwakhe esefundisiwe ukuthi okay kwama ladies conference or women's conference or shower to shower, zonke lezi zinto ezenzeka. So umuntu wesifazane ngesikhathi seshada ufika already esewumama oseqondile ngoba kulezi zinto lezi bayafundiswa khona emasontweni. Even ngaphandle emphakathini kunama gatherings eyenziwa nje abantu besifazane. Even when it comes to izinto zamasiko, there are things ezenziwayo zabantu besifazane. Kunomhlonyane, kunomemulo, ukukhuliswa, yabo zonke lezi zinto. So umuntu wesifazane is always being prepared. Yabo. And then when it comes to umuntu wesilisa, angaze ngizwe emasontweni kuthiwa kune men's conference. Manje ukuthi ngiseke ngezwe mhlambe worldwide it's only 0.05% la khona kunamabandla khona ene men's conference. Angaze ngizwe kuthiwa
khona mayikhona inyama.
Yabona mayikhona yabo nakhona futhi makudliwa leyo nyama leyo asikhuliswa ukuthi okay indoda kumele yenze kanje, asikhuliswa kusuka kujatshulwa kudliwa inyama kuthiwa libethiwa hayi kumele nishade manje ya bekani imali nivula amabhizinisi nishade, and then kube kuphela kanjalo. But when you go to ama women's conference kuhlalwa phansi futhi kuyakhulunywa kuthiwa intombi ihamba kanje. But yabo men's conference ngisho kuthiwa ikhona kuzoshunyayelwa ngabaprophets, kushunyelwe ngokuthi uNkulunkulu wavusa indoda. Le nto leli iBhayibheli siyalifunda siyalazi sonke, it's spiritual, but we need ukuthi sifundiswe ngereality ukuthi okay when you are a man uzodlula entweni kanje, how to control your temper yabo, how to, if you are a person with anger, because siyakhola ukuthi siyakhola it doesn't mean ukuthi mina mawuthi nginenhliziyo encane akusho ukuthi ngoba sengiyakhola izophela inhliziyo encane. Ngizoqhubeka ngibe nenhliziyo encane, but if I'm not being delivered from ukuba nenhliziyo encane ngizoqhubeka uJesu inkosi nomsindisi ngiqhubeka ngibe la inhliziyo encane ngitholakala sengishaya unkosikazi wami ngempama lapha kodwa ade ngiphethe iBhayibheli ngishumayela la phambili. Uyabo? I think that's the biggest mistake eyenziwa ama-elders. I won't say abefundisi because even I will just say wonke umuntu omdala because even emakhaya obaba bethu noma behlala nathi besikhulisa basikhulisela indaba yokuthi kumele ubukhulu ube indoda ube nomuzi yabo ngoba mawukuthi nomuzi nemoto nonkosikazi uba indoda. But we are not being groomed from being a boy to man, but we always being groomed for ukushada ukuthi ube indoda emshadweni yabo. It's different ukuthi ukhulisa ube indoda ukutshela usilalela mawuyindoda a gentleman wenza kanje, umuntu wesifazane umtreata kanje yabo. Empilweni izinto obhekana nazo mawubhekana nezimo ezikanje wenza kanje yabo. So us men we are very dangerous. Man is very dangerous fethu. Mina I would say ukuthi all these conferences lezi zinto ezenziwa abantu besifazane kumele ngabe zenziwa more umuntu wesilisa ngoba umuntu wesilisa uyingozi mfethu. Umuntu wesilisa uyingozi, umuntu wesilisa buka nje ubungozi bakho ukukhiphela kanjani. They're raping women. I'm sorry to say this, I know I'm a Christian, but imagine first, how can you rape ingane encane kukhona iButterworth la ku 70 rand kukhona abantu abadayisa 70 rand lapha eButterworth.
50 rand.
50 rand, but I'm not promoting Leand because it's evil. But how can you rape someone? Rape that person and then you're gonna kill that person. Where else you can just do the very same thing legally? You're gonna get the very same satisfaction. Number one, uba necala, and number two, isono. Because isono ukuthi udlengula umuntu and then esinye isono futhi ngaphezulu masizophinda uzombulala futhi. Yabo ukuthi amadoda wanakwa asinakwa thina samadoda. Because mina angikwazi nje mfethu Mirabel ukuthi just because sengithela umsebenzi mhlawumbe ngathenga umuzi usuzongibiza ngendoda. Kumele ngiphasise ukuthi cha ngindoda ngokuthi ngifundiswe ngibonakala ukuthi le into engifundiswe zona sengidlulile kuzo. Manje mina just because sengithe ukuthi ngaba nentshebe kwezwakala into yami into ephuma emlomeni yami engathi iqinile kwabonakala into emqondo wami engazuthi uthanda ukuphuza sekuthiwa ngindoda. Yet I'm not I was never being groomed ukuthi ngibe indoda. Can you look at our king, our present king, Mrs. Zulu? Mrs. Zulu is our king, but he was not groomed to be a king. You don't know what's happening. Can you blame Mrs. Zulu? You can't blame Mrs. Zulu. Who can we blame? We can blame our late king because our late king, umuntu mawuzobe nkosi uyazi ukuthi mangifa manje ngizobeka ba. So lo muntu lo udinga ukuthi umgroome ukuze abe prepared. Ukuze mangifa abe prepared ukuthi uzobe a king. Same thing applies. Yes, these people are doing a very wrong thing, but as khuliswa mfethu, the only sikhulisela nje imshado kuphela. La eSouth Africa akazi umshado bawuzwani. Angazi bawuzwani umshado. Esontweni ukhulisela umshado. Awukhulisi bakhohle ukuthi kunama realities la ngaphandle. Yabo. There are a lot of girls and women who are being raped by abantu abakholwayo, but into yabi yafihla just put under carpet ngoba kuthiwani kwenziwela ivangeli. That's wrong. We need to be taught, but we need to be groomed. We need to be mentored. Sibizwe ngamadoda ngoba sesiphasisiwe ukuthi cha siyo lamadoda. Singabizwe ngamadoda ngoba sithenga imizi. Singabizwe ngamadoda ngoba sihambisa inkomo ekhweni. Yabo. We need to be taught ngoba yonke lento yenzakalayo mfethu. It's because asifundisiwe. Mina mase kuthiwa nje manje ngivukele ukuthi ngingilale nomuntu wesifazane. Makuthi ngimthole umuntu wesifazane, mase ngihambe la ngihlangana nomuntu wesifazane odakiwe, ngizombaba ngimnqume ngimqhinye mase ngilala naye ngenkani. But mase kuthiwa hlalwa phansi nami. Ngoba sekebona ukuthi sengiqala ukuhlakanipha ukuhlala phansi kuthiwa la okay lalela Nqewu kunekhathi ezofika izoba kanje. Uzokwe kuvuka ubudoda kuwena, kuvuka nje ubudoda bume ngenyawo. Ubudoda mase buvuka ke akunandaba ukuthi wena uyakholwa noma ungabiza igama lika Jesu. Ubudoda mase buvukile alinandaba ubudoda nje nokuthi uyakholwa. But if men can be groomed and be taught mfethu, mina ngiyakutshela ingancipha lento leyenzakalayo.
I mean, I think yeah, to a certain extent, definitely teaching, is needed. Good teaching is needed. But at the same time, I think that again, it just goes back to again power. The fact that you can do that as a man shows you again, you know, if was it goes back to that, you know, where there's just such this crazy inequality. And again, I agree with you. I think also, and I was having this conversation with someone before, with what does manhood look like? You know, what does it mean to be a man? I think it's something that, you know, men need to start looking at. You know, is being a man just being a provider? Is it being a man just being umuntu onomuzi? Is that what manhood is? I think with women, we sort of talk about these things. What does womanhood look like? What does it mean to be a woman? More than I think men actually sit down and talk about what does it actually mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a godly man? What does that look like? What are those attributes? And really, I think maybe it's something that you guys need to start, you know, talking about and working on. Because again, during these things, these unhealthy and toxic ideologies hurt men as well. So nani mazega in the process. So as much as it hurts the woman, it hurts the man, and we're not moving forward. We're not getting to a place where we can have healthy relationships and healthy homes. We are in a mess, you know. So we need to start talking about these things. We need to start working through these things. We need to start working together. Because now, corner, you know, when we start talking about, you know, abuse, then men want to say, oh, but then we being abused too. No, let's talk about our abuse. Let's see how you guys can help us. You know, how can we move forward? And let's look at abuse against men. How can we help you guys? How can we move forward? Instead of, you know, it's all about me, my problems, my issues. We need to start working together. And that's the only way we're going to be able to move forward, is when we work together. We treat each other well, we respect each other, and we see each other as our equals. You know, I know you hate that word, but I'm going to say it again. So we see each other as our equals, and we respect one another. And I think that's when we're going to start moving in the right direction, where your feelings as a man, they matter to me. So if you say something is hurtful to you, I take that first. I'm not like, you know, a man must, you know. Now when you say something to me that is offensive, you know, you should be able to say, I didn't mean to offend you, sorry about that, or not say that, or not do that, or whatever. You know, we need to start respecting each other, working together. And only when we work together, I think we're going to conquer a lot of the issues that we have in our society. But at the moment, we just not working together. We are working against each other, and it's very toxic. I mean, I've been seeing this trend they are calling, you know, Shona. You know, the guys are like, but Ukoni was this, and Nina Ninja, and then all the girls are like, but Shona was this. You know, we are constantly fighting. You know, we are fighting each other, and it's a problem. You know, and we're not winning. You know, and we're not gonna win with those attitudes. So I think we just need to start working with each other and understanding each other's struggles, and helping each other move forward.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Because if you don't work together, you won't go anywhere. Yeah, and because if you can see, it's like there is a war between women and men, especially in Africa. It's like there's a war, carrying on. We're just taking it too light, and sometimes we see on social media, like jokes. Like, for instance, if I can make a simple example, I saw someone post posting ukuthi please hate men, women please hate men. Yabo. Indaba zemjodo. Was please hate men. Everyone was laughing and I was like, yabo lo muntu ushaya ihlaya. And then you can see honestly ukuthi like ubengaqondile into ukuthi like mhlambe in a bad way ubeyihlekisela nje like njengoba sonke suke yabo. But mawuyithatha uyibheka lento, the devil can get into this thing and then women can do this thing serious, take it seriously nabo futhi benganakile yabo ukuthi lento ingagcina senze umonakalo kanjani. And buka ama results akuhethwana emjolweni kanje.
That's safe. Jolo is not safe.
So kule competition amadoda afuna ukugcwalisa amantombazana kuyagcwaliselwana nje, kuyachithelwana, kuyahethwana. Yabo nje into encane le, but asinakile ukuthi lento iyasilimaza lento yabo.
Yeah.
So
Genesis 3 verse 16.
Yeah.
It's that we are fighting each other. Men want to hurt women, women want to hurt men. It's that, but again, as a Bantama Nkulunkulu, we call to love. We call to have compassion. We call to be submissive to one another. We submit to one another. We call to, again, just to build together, and not to fight against each other. And I think that's where we need to start moving. We start working together, you know, and not just into one. If kujule umuntu one, and then lo munye but we both have to work together. And also, I just thought about the home Bogoto thing to say, you know, we're not rocks. You know, we are not rocks. You strike us, we get hurt, we bleed, we cry, we get traumatized, we need psychological help. Like, we need to stop saying women are these rocks. We are not rocks. We are human beings, and we should be loved. And both the same to men. You know, men should also be loved and not just used for money or whatever. You know, they also have feelings. You know, they also are human beings now that deserve to be loved and to be shown compassion and kindness to. So we really need to start again, just loving one another, being kind to one another, being compassionate to one another, and working together. And that's the only way we're going to win. If we carry on in we are just,
yeah, that's true. Because we need to work together. We need men need to know what God gave them strength to protect women, not to abuse women. So I think these things we need to take them very, very serious. We need to take them very, very serious because it can ingabulala ikusasa can destroy our future, because men always think they are powerful to overcome women. Men must know that God gave them strength, God gave them power to protect, not to abuse and overcome women. So guys, stop acting like boys. Guys, stop acting like boys. Fathers, raise your children very well. Pastors, groom and teach boys out there. Groom them to be men, because women doesn't feel safe anymore. Women should be safe around us, but now they are not safe around us because we are killing them. We are acting like animals. So, Mirabel, as we are closing now, maybe what will be your message of closing, maybe to women and also to men, concerning the whole topic we spoke about?
Yeah, I think for me, obviously, again, men, women, we are the same, we are equal. We are loved by God. We are made by God to have authority over this earth. We are made by God to love one another. To and if you're a believer, you know, to spread the good news of Jesus, and to just be part of God's work. And I think that, another thing that's very important for us to do again is to show love and compassion to victims of violence. And if you are a victim of violence, one, know that it is not your fault. Know that, whatever happened to you, it was not your doing, and you did not deserve what happened to you. And when you are ready, speak to someone, get help. Because I know a lot of people are dealing with, trauma of abuse. So if you've experienced, abuse in any shape, form, whether you are a man or a woman, speak to someone, and get help, and know that you are loved by God as well, and that you are amazing and you are valuable and you are loved. Yeah, and for us as a people to start treating each other with love and respect, and to really stand up for people who are abused, to stand up for different groups in our society that are abused, and to call out abuse. So you see abuse on social media, or violence or whatever, or you see it around you at your workplace, conversations that you have with your friends that are inappropriate, to stand up and say, no, this is wrong, this is not right, to speak up, and to not just, ignore it because it's not happening to you, it's not happening in your home or whatever. So we all have a responsibility to sort of fight against gender-based violence, and we can all fight if we do our part, and we protect children, we protect women, and again, the LGBTQ community. We protect everyone around us, and we love everyone. So let us love each other, let us protect each other, let us stand up for the right thing, and yeah, that's basically my last word. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mira. It was amazing to have it today. Thank you very much. It was the first time. And also, I'd like to say shout out to Spume Maha for referring me to Nqoba, because phela ngakwazi ngayo uMaha uyena umuntu owangithumelele wathi hey awuphuthume uye lapha ku Mirabel ufike umsearch lapha, and then I added you, and then I found you. So thank you very much. Now as a result, I also got more people from you. So it's a chain. We are going, moving forward. The guest you had yesterday was your guest. And also,
yeah, I saw that. Good.
Yeah, next week Revelation time I'll be hosting Unontu. So umuntu wakho futhi again. So shout out to Maha, wherever you are. Yeah, Maha. So shout out to Maha. Shout out to everyone who tuned in, guys. We thank you very much for watching. Can you please share the live? Guys, I always ask you to share the live. And again, if you know anyone, guys, maybe mhlambe khona umuntu oreshiwe, need help, umuntu abuzwayo that need help, please guys do inbox, because we do have a therapy group that is going on, and I think this Saturday ngomhla 14 Blue Lagoon in Durban ngo-10 izobe ikhona lapha i-therapy group, therapy session. So for people who are being abused, raped, lonke nje uhlobo labantu besifazane noma iy'ngane abusers. So guys, please do inbox me, or if you from Nqoba's friend list, guys, please do inbox Nqoba, then Nqoba will refer you guys to me. So thank you, Mirabel, for your time. Thank you very much. We will see you next month. Next month we will see you again. Next month Nqoba is coming back, guys, but I won't tell you ukuthi uzobe ezokhuluma ngani. Nqoba, thank you very much, Swamne.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time on your show, and thanks to everyone who's been watching. I really appreciate all the love from my friends and the support. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, guys, sesifike emaphethelweni. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. It's been a nice session. It's been a cool and a calm one, relaxed session, guys. Thank you very much. And for those who are sharing, I can see people are sharing. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Man, please protect women. Don't abuse women, bafethu. Abantu besifazane, they must feel safe around us, guys. So let us stop abuse. Stop women abuse and child abuse, guys. Let us raise our children very well, guys. Let us protect our brothers. I mean, let us protect our sisters, our mothers, guys, in a very, very good way. So thank you very much for watching. Good night. I love you all.